All right, let's picture this for a second.
Mm.
You've got this great idea, right? Maybe a portfolio to nail that internship you want.
Mm.
Or maybe a website for that side project you've been thinking about. Or, finally getting your personal brand online.
Yeah, happens all the time. People have the vision.
Exactly. You can see it perfectly in your head. But then, reality hits. You think about wrestling with code for hours.
Or those drag and drop builders that never quite do what you want.
Right. It just feels like this huge mountain to climb. Even if you're okay with the tech stuff, just the time it takes normally, it's a lot.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's a common sticking point.
Yeah.
And honestly, it stops a lot of potentially great ideas before they even start. That gap between having an idea and actually making it happen online has always been pretty wide if you're not a coder.
And that right there is exactly what we're diving into today. We're going to look at V0 AI. It's this pretty innovative tool from Vercel.
Vercel, yeah.
Yeah.
Big name.
And it makes this really bold promise. Turn your words, just simple text, into professional websites super fast, like lightning speed, even if you've never touched code in your life.
It sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it?
It kind of does. So our mission today is to really unpack what V0 AI is all about. We'll walk through how you actually use it, look at the benefits, and figure out who this is really for. We're pulling all this from a detailed review we looked at.
Okay, so if you're listening and you like learning things quickly, you like efficiency, and you're curious about how AI is making complicated things simpler,
Yeah.
then stick around. I think there are going to be some definite aha moments here. Might change how you think about putting stuff online.
Okay, let's do it. So first things first.
Yeah.
What is V0 AI, fundamentally? Like, how does it actually work?
Right. So at its heart, V0 AI is an artificial intelligence tool. It's specifically trained to create websites just based on simple text descriptions you type in, prompts, basically.
So you just tell it what you want.
Pretty much. Think of it like a super smart translator taking your regular language idea and turning it into, a working web design.
And it's from Vercel, which you mentioned. That adds some serious weight, doesn't it? They're known for being pretty cutting edge in web development.
Absolutely. Vercel's reputation definitely gives it credibility. They're always pushing things forward. And V0's main job is surprisingly simple. You could type something like, make a student portfolio. Just that.
Okay.
And it gets to work, building a site with, actual design layouts. The review we read mentioned a specific example portfolio it built, which really shows what it can do.
That's pretty amazing. So under the hood, it's using tech like React, maybe? But I, as a user, I don't need to worry about any of that.
Exactly. That's the key. It might be using React components and sophisticated stuff, but you don't need to know or care. It just works. And the real breakthrough isn't just that it's fast, although it is. It's how it changes the whole process. It sort of closes the gap between your idea and seeing something real on the screen. You're thinking about what you want it to look like and say, not how to write the code.
That makes it way more accessible.
Hugely accessible.
Yeah.
For students, maybe small business folks, anyone needing a website quickly without getting stuck in the technical weeds.
Okay, that sounds genuinely useful. So we know what it can do, but how does someone actually, use it? What are the steps to get started?
It's actually really intuitive. First step, just go to the website .evo.dev.
v0.dev. Got it. Easy enough.
Yep. Then you sign up. And the good news is it's free to try out, which is great. Lets you play around with it.
Always nice when you can try before you commit.
For sure. So once you're logged in, you just describe the website you're imagining, like a portfolio with a bio section and a place for project examples.
And then boom, it just appears. How fast are we talking?
We're talking seconds. Seriously. It generates the website almost instantly. You're not sitting there waiting. You'll see something functional, maybe similar to that example portfolio we mentioned earlier, pop right up.
Wow, okay.
What's really cool is that you get this solid starting point, something interactive, right away.
Mm-hmm.
Doing that normally, even for someone who knows what they're doing, takes time and effort.
Right. But what if the first version isn't quite right? Maybe the color's off, or I want to change some text. Can you tweak it?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. You can refine it. You just type more instructions like make the header blue or use a different font for the headings.
Yeah.
Or sometimes there are buttons or options you can click right there in the interface.
So it's like having a conversation with the AI.
Exactly. It's an iterative process back
Yeah.
and forth. And once you're happy with it, you can share the site directly online using Vercel's hosting, which is super convenient, or just save the design. Think about practical uses, like the review mentioned, whipping up a site for a class project, or maybe even making a simple blog to practice your English writing. Really useful stuff.
Yeah, I can think of so many students who struggle just getting a basic website up for a project.
Hmm.
This sounds like a lifesaver. Let's make it even clearer. The review you mentioned had a specific example, right? Making a portfolio quickly.
It did, yeah. Let's say you needed a portfolio site, like that example one, V0 personal video-editor-website.vercel.app. The review described using this exact prompt. A simple student portfolio with a green theme and bio section.
Okay, simple prompt. And what happened right after they put that in?
It spat out a clean, working website, pretty much instantly. Something you could then easily customize just by adding your name, maybe changing the style a bit more if you wanted.
It sounds incredibly easy to use.
It really is. The user-friendliness is a huge plus. It just lowers that barrier so much that almost anyone can get a decent-looking functional site up super fast.
That really is a game changer. Think about showing up with a polished, working portfolio for a school assignment, or using something like that to boost a college application. The speed and ease are just remarkable.
And it's more than just speed, you know? It's about giving people digital agency. People who maybe felt excluded from creating things online before can now just make their ideas real quickly.
Okay, so we've talked about how easy and fast it is. What are the main upsides overall? And are there any catches, any downsides we should know about? Why all the excitement?
Well, the big reasons people are calling it awesome are exactly what we've hit on. It's incredibly fast, it's free to get started, which is huge, and it's just exceptionally simple, particularly if you're a student or a beginner. The review really hammered home how quick and straightforward it makes everything.
And it sounds like this isn't just theoretical. People are actually using it effectively.
Absolutely. The review mentioned seeing chatter, like on X, about how it's genuinely saving students time on schoolwork. That kind of real-world feedback shows it's more than just a cool tech demo. And that review we're drawing from, it gave zero a pretty high score for that target audience. A 9 out of 10 for students and beginners.
Wow, a 9 out of 10 is really strong. So what's keeping it from a perfect 10 for them? Is there a limitation?
Yeah, there's a key nuance of consideration. The review called it the main downside, but it's more of a boundary. If you want something really advanced, super intricate, or highly unique in its design or functionality,
Okay.
you might still need some actual coding knowledge. It's fantastic for getting you, say, 90% of the way there for most common needs, incredibly fast. But for that last 10% of super custom complex stuff, that might still require diving into code.
Right. So it's not necessarily a flaw, just a limit to its current scope. It gets you a really solid functional base very quickly.
Exactly. It excels at rapid prototyping and building standard structures. Think of it as an amazing accelerator and a powerful tool for accessibility. It handles the common patterns brilliantly.
But for truly bespoke, cutting-edge web art, maybe you still need that deeper technical skill. That makes sense. It defines its purpose well.
Precisely. It empowers tons of people to create. But for that truly unique digital masterpiece, the human designer's touch, often helped by code, probably still holds the final key.
This has been a fascinating deep dive. So just to kind of wrap up the core idea of V0 AI, it really seems like a powerful, super accessible AI tool. It's democratizing website creation, especially for people who aren't technical experts. Seems perfect for getting prototypes done fast, building personal sites like portfolios, and just cutting through all the usual time and hassle of getting something online.
Yeah, it's a massive shortcut. It lets you focus more on your idea and less on the mechanics of building it. It really shifts the focus from, technical execution to just having a clear vision.
So thinking about how fast tools like V0 AI are changing things, it makes you wonder, right? What's web development going to look like in just a few
It's a
years?
huge question.
And how could this kind of shift really impact things like creativity or even just basic digital literacy for everyone? Seems like a lot of old barriers might just dissolve.
It really does make you think, could we be heading towards a future where almost everyone is a web creator in some sense? Where the main challenge isn't how to build, but what to build, and how clearly you can express your idea.
That's a wild thought. Well, if you're listening and you're intrigued, the review did mention you can try V0 AI out for free.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out.
So go explore v0.dev, see what it can do for you, maybe build something cool.